Michelle. I'm here looking at your project and doing a little video critique because that's kind of the most fun way to do these. Looking first, we've got your three objects that you pulled in from the 3D warehouse. Those are kind of fun. Looks good. This is also very interesting in kind of a Sputnik kind of way. It reminds me of like a playhouse or something like that, just the way that you formed these things, I assume, by drawing this shape and then whirling them around to circles to get the shape. And the same thing here. And the way you've stacked these things is very interesting and very kind of space age fun. Okay. Looking at your modifications, this is a cool modification. I think it's going to wind up being a little tall for a bed, but it's fun. This could even be like a clock or something. I'm not really sure what's going on here. Is this the chair? It's really, once again, it's really space age kind of thing. And as Mike said, it reminds me a lot of some of the metal sculptures that were pretty popularly done in the 70s and 80s. It's kind of an interesting form. I like the way I can imagine it being made of all kinds of different materials. Is this a modification of the chair or of your original form? That's what I'm not really sure about. The bed was pretty obvious. The lamp is an interesting case because what you've tried to do here, and I like this a lot, is that you've played with the scale of the shade. You said, ooh, let's make this more of a kind of a big table lamp as opposed to this little skinny guy here. While keeping the base pretty close to the same size. This would be okay as an approach if the base stayed centered. That's kind of the challenge here. So let's look at how we can fix this, because it's a good concept that deserves a little bit more fiddling with, a little bit more work. Okay, so I've been using AutoCAD today, which kind of impairs me a little bit on SketchUp because as Mike and Bella have noted, AutoCAD uses a completely different way of looking at everything, and it really changes the way you think about things. So the first step here in centering up the base for our lamp, you notice I'm looking at it from above, so it's a little easier to isolate the base and see where it's going to go. The first step is to locate the middle of the lampshade, and I'm going to do that by drawing two lines that cross in the middle. Okay, this is the no math, easy way to do things, which is how I do things as much as I can. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to go back to selections. I'm going to edit component, and now I'm going to select the base down there. Okay, except I've left out one important step. I don't know where the middle of this stand thing is here, so I'm going to get my pencil and I'm going to draw a line here too. Okay, so by doing that, I can now move this whole thing geometrically in one step. I can move it from the midpoint of this line to where those two intersect, and I have that absolutely at the middle. Okay, so now I'm going to do my selection. Select. Oops, I got a little bit too much there. Okay. I decided I had too many things selected. Oh, you know what? I've got the whole component selected because I'm not editing the component. Now I should be able to get it. Now I have to remember to hit Shift to keep selecting things. That's one of the big differences that I find between AutoCAD and SketchUp. Okay, so now that I've got all that stuff selected, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to grab Move, and I'm going to click on the midpoint of my line here. Whoops, back up. And I'm just going to zoom and pan over here. Whoa, I've had an unexpected result here. So just like we always do when we have unexpected results, we do Control Z. So I'm going to go back to Select, and I'm going to make sure I've got just my just my base selected. That's really all that I want. So I'm making sure that I have Shift held down while I'm doing this so that I select all of the stuff that I want and none of the stuff that I don't. Okay, so now I'm going to kind of make sure that I've got the bottom. Oops, I don't have all the stuff I want yet, do I? Okay, so let's go. We're going to go back to Select. We're going to do Shift. We're going to select some more stuff here. Honestly, I think it might be easier at this juncture to go back and start over on the selection process. So I just backed out of editing the component, and now I'm going to come back and keep adding things to my selection set because I want all this stuff. Make sure you've got all the faces of every object selected. They'll highlight as you've gotten them. What you can't see here is I basically have my nose on my screen while I'm doing this. So I make sure that I've got everything. It's easier just to zoom closer, right? Go back and grab selection. Making sure you've got everything is an important piece of the puzzle here. Selection. See, I don't have quite everything yet. Add that piece. Whoops, don't go that far. I talk to myself a lot when I'm doing SketchUp, and I don't think it hurts for you guys to know that. Okay, so now I'm going to grab one or two more things here. I want these 4 lines right here. Okay, so now that I've got everything, I'm going to move it, and I'm going to move it once again from the midpoint here. Here we go. Now what's going to happen here is you'll notice that it's stretching those other lines, and we'll deal with that in a minute. And we're going to go right here. Where is that middle line? Here we go. Okay, so that's where we want that. Now let's double check that it looks, oh wow, look at that. Doesn't that look better? Okay, so now we just need to stretch these other planes around, the ones that connect it. Honestly, I think it might be easier just to go ahead and redraw them rather than to use those. And so what I'm going to do in order to do that is I'm going to just kind of zoom around until I'm at a good position for doing it. And I'm going to grab my pencil, and notice that I'm just going straight parallel here to the edge. You know what? On second thought, probably the more efficient way to do it would be to do this. Okay. Now I've got more planes than I want drawn, and that's okay because what we're going to do is we're going to come in here and we're going to erase some. We're going to erase that, and we're going to erase that, We're going to erase that. And so now you can see we can draw the crossbars in pretty easily using the rectangle command. Whoops, undo. What happened there is that I accidentally exited edit component. So there we go. So now I'm going to redo edit component, and I can come back in and finish up. But I'm just, just going to catch those other lines like this one the same way that I did it by drawing a rectangle. With the same results. Okay, we knew that was coming this time though, right? And as always, if the results aren't what we want, we can just back out. There we go. So here we just, select the things we want to get rid of, and then we can also highlight them and erase them that way. Okay. And you can keep on drawing those other lines in like that. So, and don't forget to close your component when you're done working with it. You can get some really unexpected results. But see, that's kind of the trick there. I hope that helps a little bit. I'm really quite pleased with the modifications you've made to the lamp and the bed, and hope you're continuing to learn and have fun while playing with this. Thanks. Bye.